Hello everyone, I'm here again. So today I'm going to talk about MCP servers. Just refer my this diagram I discussed in my previous video. Focus on this area where you see my agent is having different tools. Since these tools are tightly coupled with my agent, it is really complex to maintain it. What if I divide these two components into two separate layers? One is agent, the other one is MCP server. Let's take a deep dive. See this legacy approach where my this agent is having different tools and these tools are talking to their data sources in some different ways. These are tightly coupled and really difficult to maintain. On the other hand, this is my MCP server approach where my agent is a separate layer, has got some unified ways to call all these tools. All these tools are there inside my MCP server and they're talking to their respective services. MCP, that is Model Context Protocol, is an open standard which is developed by Anthropic. So without talking too much here, let's do the actual implementation. So first I'm having these import statements. The very first is mcp.server.fastmcp. Just for your information, as you see here, we are going to use FastMCP. After that, you see I'm creating this instance of my FastMCP. The name that is I'm giving to this FastMCP is calculator. After that, you see I have got two functions which are decorated with MCP tool. And then I have this mcp.run, which will run my MCP server. The transport protocol that I'm using is streamable HTTP. There are some other transport protocol also like HTTP or SSE as well. Standard input output also is there, which is normally used to run your MCP server locally or within the same environment. So this is the simplest basic implementation of my MCP server. Let's try to run this now. So as you see, this MCP server is running by default on my local host with this port. So let's copy this URL, and to test any MCP server, either you can use MCP inspector or you can use Postman as well. To use this in Postman, I think you need to refer probably the latest version there. I'm not sure from when a Postman has started supporting this MCP, but I've got this latest version, so just using this. So please ensure that you have the version which supports MCP. So to begin with, go to this new option and click here and then select MCP. Select HTTP and then put your URL. So please make sure that you put /MCP there to access your MCP server. Okay. So I click on connect here, and then you see I have got all my tools listed. So since I have got two tools, you see add and multiply. You can try to even run these things from here. So let me click on this, and you see this is expecting num1 and num2. So let's say if I give 2 for num1 and maybe 5 for num2, and then click again on run. So the answer that you see is 7, right? Similarly, if I want to test my multiply function, I can give some value, let's say 3, and here I would say 2, and click again on run. Then you see the answer is 6. So my MCP server is up and running. Now, consider a scenario where you have multiple MCP servers, right? So you cannot deploy, those many MCP servers separately. I mean, which is not a very optimal way of doing it. So better approach probably would be to wrap all these MCP servers in a fast API. So how we can do that? Let me try to show you. So I have got this main.py. Here I'll write my fast API code. So first you see some import statements. Obviously one is fast API, and then one is for course middleware. Then I'm importing my server here, MCP server here. I name it calculator. Then I create an instance of fast API. Then my course configuration. For now, I'm keeping this very permissible, and as you see, this allows all the origins, all types of headers, etc. I'm having one endpoint, hello endpoint, which can be used to check the health of my this fast API, and then I have my server where my this fast API will run. So another piece of this code where you see this lifespan event handler, which allows my fast API to manage resources like MCP servers. Uh, then you see I'm creating an application using my calculator MCP server. Then you see I have got this statement which allows my context to handle the session manager or start the session manager of my calculator MCP server. Another very important thing is mounting of my this MCP server. So here you see I am saying slash calculate. So basically I am exposing one endpoint calculate which will hit my this MCP server. Any code before this yield will be used at the time of my application startup, and any code after this yield will be used at the time of my application shutdown. So pretty simple, quick code, and my fast MCP is ready. One thing that I have missed here is lifespan. So lifespan is equals to my lifespan event handler, and then I am pretty good. Let's try to run this. So now accessing this fast API is really difficult using some tool like Postman, etc. So we will access this fast API having my MCP server using my agent runtime only in my next video. Looking forward to talk to you in my next video where I'll be discussing agent runtime. So if you remember my hands-on application architecture, today we talked about fast API having my MCP server. In the next video, we will talk about agent runtime, where we'll be creating React agent and we'll talk to LLM and we'll leverage my MCP server to access these tools. Thank you.